When I was in middle school and high school, I got bullied. I got, in fact, so bullied to the point I thought about ending it all. I was just talking to some girls, like some teenager does, right? All of a sudden, this guy comes up and he just takes my backpack and opens it and throws it all in the trash, in the backpack as well. And then I look at my side and these girls are laughing at me. And the guy is also laughing. So now he's kind of like the alpha male of the situation, you know? And I just feel like humiliated at the bottom. And you want to know the worst part? This guy was my friend. These were the kind of friends that I had at the time. And instead of being like, fuck him, I just thought, this guy, these kinds of things started to build up more and more. And it got to a point, dude, where I was always at the bottom, at the end of the jokes, always being humiliated, always being defeated, to the point where the whole school started to notice. And I started to be more and more bullied, more and more humiliated. And I just thought that I want to end it all. That's how bad it got for me as a teenager. But enough about me. I don't want to talk about myself. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about how we can overcome these traumas from bullying. When you're a teenager, the school is your entire world. And so being humiliated at school, feeling at the bottom, is the same as if you went on fucking international TV now as an adult and people are saying bad shit about you. People are destroying your reputation. That's how it feels when you're in school, except in school, you're not even an adult yet. So you have to deal with all these things whilst being a kid. School is basically a ground bed for trauma and for limiting beliefs on your adulthood. In fact, I would argue school is the number one thing that's stifling our potential most of the time because of all the traumatic shit we went through at school. Realize one thing as well, that trauma isn't necessarily what you experience. For example, you may see another kid who's speaking out against some kind of belief in the mainstream, right? And he gets bullied at school. Now you're thinking, fuck, I don't want to be him. Fuck him. I don't want to be at the bottom like him because he's getting bullied. So I'm going to be with the crowd. I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be into the mainstream. I'm going to adhere to the group think. And then this other kid who's thinking differently is getting bullied. He's like, the whole school is teaching you not to go against the grain. So what are the beliefs that you're going to have now as an adult? You're going to be the guy who goes 9 to 5. You're going to be the guy who doesn't make waves. You're going to be the guy who doesn't talk to strangers, who just sits in his little corner like a good boy, doesn't go against society. What does this do to your soul? It rottens your soul because your inner child is not free anymore. You're bound by a jail of trauma. These aspects are so fucking important to talk about because nobody's talking about this. Because most people are living within this jail. And myself included, by the way. I'm not special. I actually went through a lot of trauma in school, as you saw. But because of that, because my jail was so fucking bounded, that I realized that I'm in a jail in the first place. So if you relate to this and if you're also in this jail, if you're really bounded by this jail and you're aware of the jail, in a way, you have more freedom than somebody who's like in a better jail who doesn't really realize it. So be grateful for that. So let's go back to this point of the jail, right? Imagine now you're an adult. For example, this happened to me. I wanted to throw a birthday party. And you know what it's like when you want to throw a birthday party, but you were like bullied for being awkward and weird in middle school and high school? You invite, 20 people or 30 people. You text them, hey, do you want to come to my birthday party? Or maybe you make a WhatsApp group. And you quickly start to realize that, not many people are coming. People start, flaking, or they say they're busy. And you realize only 6 or 7 people have confirmed. And you're like, oh, fuck, now they're going to think I'm weird. Now they're going to think that I'm a loser who doesn't have friends. Oh, my God. Then you start to invite random people who we're not so connected with in a kind of desperate attempt to fill your party up, right? So you're like, shit, maybe I'll invite Steven from work, Yeah, he's cool. He's okay, right? So you start talking, you start texting these random people, and most of them start flaking as well. And you're like, shit, bro, maybe, you know what? Maybe fuck it. I won't throw the birthday party. I never really cared about birthdays in the first place. And so you text your friends like, yeah, guys, actually, there's not going to be a party. Let's maybe do this later, right? It's not a big deal. I don't care about birthday parties. You don't care about birthday parties, bro. Do you really don't care about the birthday party? Or is this a way to cope with your anxiety? What if people knew that you were awkward? What if people knew that you were weird? So what? It's not about even the fact that they know that you're scared. It's the consequence of that, right? Because if they think you're awkward, if they think you're weird, you'll go right back to middle school. You'll go back to high school to be at the bottom. And you know what it's like to be there, right? You don't want to be there. And this is the trauma. This is the jail. Do you get it? You're not able to throw the birthday party anymore. So what's the solution now? You ask me, okay, we talk a lot about these things. What can we do about it? The number one thing that we have to do, and I'll explain why, is we have to accept any emotions that we feel. We have to stop labeling emotions as good or bad. For example, you feel awkward, that's bad. You feel happy, that's good. You feel weird, you feel out of place, that's bad. But if you feel joyful or you feel like charismatic, that's good. No, they're all good because they're all part of yourself. All the emotions that you feel are part of you. And if you want to be able to break free from that jail, you got to embrace all of those emotions back into you. You got to be okay with feeling any emotions. Any emotions are amazing because they come from you. Because ultimately, that's what you're lacking, right? Like this emotional support, this knowing that things will be fine whether you're awkward or not. You're an adult now, and your responsibility is to support yourself. And this is something that took me a long time to understand, because for a long time I also cried because nobody was there for me, you know, like my parents, you know, they did the best they could. And you know how it is, like school, who gives a fuck who gets bullied, right? So nobody was there for you maybe, but you have to now be there for yourself. Take the actions that you know you want to take, that your soul wants to take, right? Like your inner child wants to take, and not rationalize the fear. Throw the party. Invite the people you want to be there. And then if they don't come, that's fine. If they think you're awkward or weird because only 2 people came or 3 people came, that's fine. If you're okay with experiencing the awkwardness or the cringe because you know that deep inside you'll be loved, then you'll be fine. If you like this kind of content, subscribe because I'll be making more in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.